All right, I just want to show you real quick how to remove a vent on an RV roof if you need to replace the rubber membrane, or if you just need to replace the vent, because say, you know, sometimes these things get cracks in them, or if they've got a fan they're not working. It's a lot easier than it looks. First thing we're going to want to do is, obviously this is all caulked in and it's got screws that go all the way around the perimeter of this fan. So we need to take our scraper. You need to take a multi-tool, 7-way painter's scraper or something to get that caulk so you can get down to the heads of the screws. I like to use an oscillating tool with a scraper blade on it. It doesn't have any teeth and it's fairly sharp, so just make sure that you're careful with that. And I'll take that and I'm just gonna run that guy over all of this caulk and expose these screw heads so that I can get to those with my cordless drill. And then we get all those screws undone. Now in this situation, I'm removing this entire rubber membrane. So I'm going to come back and you can see this vent has got it's like a galvanized metal flange. It comes out and you can see kind of where it ends. I'll come back and I'm going to go around with my knife and I'm going to cut all the way down through this existing membrane in order to peel this up nice and easy, because I know I'm peeling everything off. If you're not removing the membrane and you're just replacing the vent for some sort of a repair, then you're going to want to be real careful that you don't cut through this membrane, because this membrane goes underneath and folds down into the opening here. So you want to make sure that you do not cut this membrane, but you do want to get all the caulk off, and you want to get all the caulk off of the membrane as well. So just be real careful when you're doing that. But like I said, I'm taking it completely off and removing all this rubber. So first step is I'm going to get this caulk off to expose the screw heads. I'm going to take the screws out. I'm going to cut all the way around, and then we'll pry this guy up. I'm just kind of working up and over these screws and exposing the screw heads, and that's good enough that I can get my drill bit in there. So now I'm going to take my knife, and you can see the flange. I'm going to cut all the way around through the membrane to the wood. And then just take a pry bar and just get underneath that. Just get underneath that flange. And a lot of times they are caulked down, so just go slow. Pry up, it'll create a little bit of a tension, but if you just hang on to it, it'll start to release. It's very gummy, so you'll feel it kind of pulling away and then finally getting loose. Pulls right up, you can see it's got some of that butyl on there to seal it up, and it'll sometimes kind of hang and make it a little bit more difficult to pull up. Ceiling trim will stay from the inside. They've got the cushion in there. As you can see, it just goes inside. We're just going to leave that like that, and you can see what I was talking about earlier, that membrane goes all the way under and goes down into the opening that I've cut through mine. So see, that's what's going to happen if you accidentally cut through it and you're not replacing this. You're going to have a place that water can get down to the wood, so you want to be careful not to do so. All right, well, keep watching some of my other videos and you'll see how we come back and put these things back in. But that's all for this one. Any questions, just leave them down in the comments below. Appreciate it.